Jessi.strange online is who I am now. Like, and it's catered to an older group of people. I'm not here an adult trying to cater to young kids. Like, that's how it started feeling. Like, I'm mad, I'm getting grown, and I'm like acting like a child.
Right.
It felt weird, and it was conflicting with my own personal growth. When you're first starting your weight loss journey, you have to be strict with yourself just because you're rewiring the way you think. In general, it's a big battle. The first couple of months, they're very strict. Like, obviously, once you have your routine, you can always steer off, but in the beginning is the most important. And so I couldn't get past that because of Tasty Tuesdays. It just felt like I was like being fake. So I started going to therapy. And one of the things
I learned... In the midst of that?
Yeah, definitely. Because there's no way I was quitting alcohol with no help. Like, I went to an AA meeting once, and that was not for me. I was 190 pounds. Mind you, I'm 4'11". And now I weigh 110 pounds.
You wouldn't recommend or say to someone, hey, this path has brought me to a much happier, healthier state?
Nah.
No?
Nah.
Okay.
I feel like because, again, if you see the results on me and you go out your way to ask me, I'm more than happy to oblige and just give you some pointers and stuff like that. But how did my grandpa used to say it? Excuse me if it sounds like gringa, okay? Because I can't really speak Spanish, but lo que quieren besar, busca la boca. My grandpa used to say. So in English is if you want to kiss someone, you look for the mouth.
Right.
It sounds better in Spanish. But the point is, if you were looking for someone to lecture you or give you points, you would ask me. You would ask whoever you think is like, you know what, she used to be this, so let me ask her.
Ago, it's the conversation. Yeah. Take your mind different places. Now you know. So yeah, we got Jessi.strange in the crib. What's up?
It's goody.
Yo, thank you so much for being here. Honestly, this is I want to share with y'all. This is one of my old friends from back in the day when I was a delinquent. Like, when
both were.
When I was running around the streets doing some crazy.
Yo.
We just so happened to link up, probably go to some parties,
Definitely.
and to some functions. I feel like you were a merging force.
Emerging force?
Yeah, like
how?
Although we were getting into our fucked up shit, having fun, as a young kid, nonsense. But you still brought people together for enjoyment.
Yeah, okay.
At the end of the day, you brought different people together.
For sure. I never really fit into one set of group of friends. I was kind of like one of those, and then I'd be like, yo, let's go here.
Right.
Yeah, you remember that one time? I believe you were there too. We were above the LIE, and we were on the overpass, and we played the fucking where we chugged Colt 45s.
Oh shit. Yo.
With a group of friends, we used to do shit like that, bro.
Like on some like any
40s?
random occasion, get lit. And
there's a couple of spots we used to get lit at.
And I know this is like a rundown story too much because you probably heard it so much already, but like she's also the first person I tried guatita with.
Yeah.
Which is like, and if y'all don't know, this is like cow's intestines mixed with peanut butter on top of rice, and it's just like smells a little weird, looks a little weird, but when you try that shit, it's delicious.
You're the only one of like the few people that I know that like aren't Ecuadorian and like they're coming in with an open mind, because most people see the texture and they're like skeeved out by it or whatever. But no, guatita, if you don't know, I definitely recommend it. It's an Ecuadorian traditional dish.
It's so good. I want to jump right into it though. Like, yo, since I seen you till now, I've seen you jump into many explorations, adventures,
many different things,
and it's amazing because you've inspired me from afar, and that's something that I will always cherish. And also having you as a friend, I'll always cherish, and knowing you right now as a person, I cherish.
Definitely cherish that.
And it's like, it's dope. I want to just jump right into it though. Like, what created Jessi.strange? What got you into reptiles? What got you into all this? Like, what was the birth of it?
Oh, that's crazy. The birth of Jessi.strange, I guess, was when I was in the process of like wanting to drop out of college and realizing that maybe this wasn't for me. And so I started looking for interviews before, like, I told my parents about that I'm not going to school no more. And I was looking for a full-time job. And at the time, I was also still in the process of, like, just starting off. I was like, all right, let me go on YouTube and start doing, like, cool things on YouTube. And I went to this interview. And this lady had my information, because this was before Jessi.strange, so my full name is Yesenia Montes de Oca. So she's like, I had posted on Facebook, I'm thinking about dyeing my hair. What do you guys suggest? And it was like rainbow, red, whatever. I put a bunch of options out. And she goes, the minute we sat down, wasted my whole time, made me come in for the interview. And she was like, asked me my name, whatever, a couple of like short questions. And she's like, well, you know, we don't allow people to dye their hair here, so we don't think that this is the job for you. And I looked at her like, so they looked at my online presence, they looked at my name on Google and found my Facebook and saw the post I had posted. It was at that point where I was like, you know what, I need to separate my professional life to my online life, because at the time it felt like it was just gonna, you know, mess me up. But then it kind of took its own course, and then Jessi.strange became almost like, you know, like we talked about, a character, right? So that was the original birth of like me on the internet, was this character I had built. At the time on YouTube, the biggest things were like Logan Paul, Jake Paul, you had, you know, Miranda Sings, Lily something, whatever, all these popular YouTubers. I started to see what was working, you know, what was working on me too. So it was a lot of catered to a lot of younger audience, people who were in high school, people who wanted to just escape from like their high school, you know, the bullshit you deal with in high school. And so I guess that's where it kind of was influenced. And if you look at my old videos, it was like prank videos, which was making, you know, views at the time. And then it was mostly, and then one of my first videos was like social experiment, you know, so I was just doing stuff that I know was popular and was working. And over time, Tasty Tuesdays came out because Snapchat was a thing, and then I ended up finding this little niche of like Tasty Tuesdays, and again, having that extra persona, like being extra loud, being extra vibrant, and it became like, it was like, there was traction, there was an audience, and there was definitely fans, bro. Like, people were coming up to me like, Jessi.strange, in Long Island especially. I remember I was on a date in the Bronx. That happened in the Bronx. It was cool. It felt crazy.
On a date? That's lit.
On a date, yeah.
On a date, that's lit.
That
that's
shit
like
was a vibe, right? Shit was dope. It had the ego boost. I was like, yeah. It was cool, y'all. It was really cool. It was definitely a crazy feeling. So there was clearly something there. And people who never really spoke to me in high school, people who really never really, you know, fuck with me like that, they were like, yo, I can see you having potential. Keep going, keep going. And over time, it became like work. You know, it became exhausting because I started to get older. Now I'm going through a couple years of like the development of Jessi.strange. So it became work, it became force. Like I had to do a couple things. Like I had to, like, this was my normal energy, and then I had to lift up and like have that type of energy, which wasn't really natural to me
all the time.
Exactly. So over time, I started to lose interest. It started to feel like work. And then at a certain point, I just kind of like outgrew it, because that's not my personality, and that's kind of like not who I want to be portrayed as online. You know what I'm saying?
You want to, if I could interrupt, you want people to enjoy who you are. Exactly.
Not the character Jessi.strange, who originally, when I first started Jessi.strange, is now Jessi.strange online is who I am now. Like, and you know, it's catered to an older group of people. I'm not here an adult trying to cater to young kids. Like that's how it started feeling. Like I'm mad, I'm getting grown, and I'm like acting like a child. It felt weird, and it was conflicting with my own personal growth. Because even like the eating, Tasty Tuesdays, I wanted to lose weight, so I was a lot bigger. You know that? And it became conflicting because even though Tasty Tuesdays was a hit, it required me to eat things or like do things that would throw me off of my, you know, when you're first starting your weight loss journey, you have to be strict with yourself just because you're rewiring the way you think in general. It's a big battle. You know, the first couple of months, they're very strict. Like, obviously, once you have your routine, you can always steer off. But in the beginning is the most important. And so I couldn't get past that because of Tasty Tuesdays. And it just felt like I was, like, being fake.
What were some of the avenues you gone through, whether that be your food regimen or workout regimen, that definitely helped you with your weight loss?
Quitting alcohol.
Just that alone?
That was a big factor.
That was a big factor for you.
That was a big factor because it was still hard when I was like drinking. Whenever you drink, you want to eat to make your hangover feel better the next day. You want to drink at night. Eat at night when you don't even remember because you're trying to like drunk and order food. And, you know, you're kind of like have the, you know, munchies, trying to make yourself feel better, coat your stomach, all that shit. I feel like that made it contributed a lot. And obviously after that, because what alcohol did was, because it was still a battle right before I started like my weight loss journey, it was a little bit before alcohol, quitting alcohol completely. So it was a little up and down.
How long has it been?
It's gonna go, this November is gonna be 4 years since I've had alcohol. Yeah.
Good shit.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's a long time. I didn't think I'd make it this far.
Wow.
But,
and you don't imagine yourself touching another ounce of alcohol again?
No, I don't think it's worth it. I struggle with addiction. So it's like, that is in everything. It can be food addiction. It can be anything.
Right.
Anything. Addiction can be anything. It's just your escape. It's a coping mechanism. So it's like, the way my personality works, it just doesn't work. Like, if I could drink and be a normal person, I would love to, because socially sometimes people act weird when I don't drink, you know? And it's crazy how embedded drinking is to the culture, that they look at you when you're not drinking, because I used to be the same way, so I don't judge. But, okay, so if I was a normal person, like, I would love to socially, it would be nice, but just looking at what works and what doesn't in my personal life, how I am as a person, it's just the cons are too much. Like, there's too much downfall to risk all the hard work that I've done to get to this very big point. Because I feel like I'm in my most control of my life since I quit alcohol.
Wow.
Yeah, most control. Like, it really taught me a lot. Like, it was more than just stopping alcohol. It taught me discipline. It taught me consistency. It taught me a lot, which is why I'm saying, like, the real big turning point from my weight loss journey was alcohol, because it wasn't just the fact that I was blacked out and like eating more to whatever make yourself feel better. That's just the tip. Because then it also taught me, you know, take it day by day. That's the same thing with weight loss. Take it day by day. You're not going to see your instant results, especially if you do it right. And that was my thing. So I started going to therapy. And one of the things I learned...
In the midst of that?
Yeah, definitely. Because there's no way I was quitting alcohol with no help. Like, I went to an AA meeting once, and that was not for me. That was not.
How come?
Man, like, I don't know.
Break it down.
This is with no offense to anybody that finds help in AA. I just feel like for me, it made me feel like the people who were conducting it just made you look like a sorry person. And I didn't like that feeling, because I know I wasn't a sorry person.
You don't want to be pitied.
Yeah, exactly. There was a lot of pity feeling, and I'm like, bro, I'm not someone to pity. Just give me the path. Teach me how to like make it stop. The constant need to make excuses for drinking or whatever. Which honestly, again, going back to going back to therapy, you learn that like it's your habits that create the life that you have. It's your habits that are what matter, and those are the little things. Because you do your habits every day, you don't even think about it.
Right.
And that's where the people forget. You don't need motivation. You need to rewire your habits, because your habits will be there even when you don't have motivation. You brush your teeth every day, not because you don't feel good or you feel good. You do it because it's a habit. It's something you do. It's something you do every day since you can remember.
In the same way too.
In the same way, exactly. So it's like the same. That's that thing. So the core are the habits, And then I started to learn consistency, because you're not going to see your changes right away, but over time, that's where the foundation, you're building that foundation of like, you know, you've built the habits. Now, even if you're feeling tempted to fall off, you're not going to, because it's just something you've already been doing without thinking about it.
Let's give the audience some perspective. How big were you, and how much do you weigh now?
I was 190 pounds. Mind you, I'm 4'11". And now I weigh 110 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. How does it feel?
Man.
You know the difference.
Feel the difference.
Yeah.
You don't feel it over time as it's happening, but now that I'm skinnier and when I I gain a little weight, I feel it. I never understood what it felt like when like someone who was like skinny would be like, oh, I feel fat. I feel the fat.
Right.
Like, what do you mean? Like, 'cause it's so normal. It's so normal to me. Now I feel the fat, bro. I'm like, damn, you feel it. It's crazy. It feels such a difference. Like, my back was arched forward because a lot of my fat would go to my butt and my back. So my back started hurting, and it was because I couldn't stretch it out like this. I couldn't go all the way back. So like my back felt better, my knees feel better. I feel like more confident to do things in general. Like my balance was terrible. Like I would fall a lot. Even like when I was like mid-journey, I was like not as big, but I was pretty skinny, but not as skinny as I am now. I still was trying to like jump on some stuff, and I would like lose my balance over little things, and it's like now I have.
Notice. Yeah, right.
I'm quick with it, you know. Like it's cool. I can do whatever I want. It feels very liberating.
Yeah, definitely. What are some activities you would say is completely different now?
Oh, hiking.
Yeah.
What do you mean, like different in how? Like what do I do different, or like?
You feel the difference because you're skinnier now and more active.
Okay, definitely anything active, like hiking. Like I never used to like hiking because I never used to like the gym. Still don't like the gym that much. But
gym?
Yeah.
How come?
It feels like an office. That's why I really liked hiking, because you would get your cardio and it would be a workout without feeling like a workout. I don't really like it's like a fucking hospital, it feels like, or an office where it's like super plain, super boring. It has a smell to it. It has a sound to it. I don't know.
I got you.
I'm a nature girl, you know?
But it's good that you do the hiking, because the incline is something that I've put a part of my workout at the end of my workout.
Nice.
So when I'm done with everything that I've finished, I'm doing the incline for 30 minutes.
Nice.
Nothing too crazy, but it's just like it burns like crazy.
Yep.
And I burn so many calories. In that 30 minutes, I'm burning like over 300 calories.
Oh yeah.
It's wild.
Absolutely.
And so I definitely feel like if you're just simply walking an incline, it's better than even just going on a jog straight away.
That was the thought process behind it all. Like that was the thought process, because you also learn, like, it's cardio, so you're it's like a hit workout. You're raising it, because sometimes it's like not that bad, and then you go on an incline where you're pumping your heart faster and you're burning more calories that way. And that's why I really liked it, because you didn't, like, as much as you were working out, it didn't really feel like it, because I was stimulated by nature, and you know, I'm a nature girl, so like I'm always looking at, like, I found the snake once, or I found this, you know, I like looking at the ground, being entertained. Like nobody, to me, gym feels like work.
You should come to the gym with me. But I mean, at the same time, I guess, I don't know, at the same time, I like the work aspect of it, because I used to do mixed martial arts. Yeah. So for me, I like the constant like to workouts. Yeah. When I would go to the gym, I like to work on my entire body. You know what I mean? And I have a system that I follow, and that for me, it gives me, like, I want to feel like I'm putting myself through hell. You know what I mean? I want to feel like when I leave there, I am soaked in my sweat.
You see, I don't have that much drive yet. I'm working on it. I do hope and wish. Like, now I believe it's possible, because somebody once told me he was a runner. And I'm like, bro, he's like, yeah, I love running because it's a peace of mind. I'm like, bro, you're a psychopath. There's no way you can trust anybody that says they like running and it's a Zen thing. And he's like, no, bro. And now I understand that feeling because it is a real Zen thing. So I'm open-minded now to the fact that maybe one day I'll be that strong at the gym.
No, you will.
I'm just not mentally there yet.
You know what's crazy about it,
I don't want to be there. That's what it is.
It's a drug.
What's a drug?
It's a drug.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
When you get to that, like, it's like you want to push. You want to push. You just want to push. And even when you're tired, you gotta tell yourself, stop being a bitch.
Yeah. Like, I feel like, again, I have all those qualities. I love the pink. Pink is my favorite color.
Yo, I want to ask you something. Because in this world that's very sensitive of it all, and since you were once a big woman and now are becoming a strong, dynamic woman.
You're gonna get me canceled.
No. What are your ideas or thoughts rather on this whole body positivity like movement in America and like everything?
Wow.
How do you feel about it?
You really trying to get me canceled? They're gonna say you fat shaming.
No, nothing about fat shaming. It's just you've been through your experience of like living. And I feel like you've been through that experience before it was cool.
Oh, 100%.
So like that, like so now, and you were on your journey of becoming healthier when everyone started accepting those things.
Right.
So I just wanted to get your opinion on it, and not the internet opinion. I want to get your opinion in reality.
Yeah. Like okay, so you're asking me what do I feel about body positivity and that whole movement? I feel like if that's what you like, right? One thing I hated most about when I had problems, because I've had many problems, it was more than just alcohol. There was a lot of things. People in my life, I love them to dear because they have the most patience, including my girlfriend, because it was like I had, again, the addictive personality trickled to everything, right? So it's like if somebody were to tell me back then that I had an alcohol problem and that they want to lecture me on how good life is without this and this and this and this and that, I would literally look at them and tell them to shut the fuck up.
Right.
Like, what makes you think you're so important enough to lecture me on your, like, what are you, fucking Gandhi?
Right.
So I'm not listening to you. Get out of here. So I feel like in regards to the body positivity thing, if that's what you like and that's how, like, like if you believe, like I'm here for body positivity, which is like if you think, if your definition of body positivity is that, and that means if like you want to embrace bigger, then by all means, I'm no one here to judge, criticize, or anything like that. I don't lecture people about no drinking, about weight loss. I hate people like that, and I will never be that person. So like body positivity, if you want to like say that, if you want to be whatever you want, that's on you. I don't care. But I do have my opinions in regards to health and all that, but
that's what I mean more so. Like you were doing it the more like brand safe like response, and I totally get it. And like people are that's what I mean, like very sensitive in these times, and like you have to, some people want to be careful about how they say it and what they say, but you're in a safe space right here. You know what I mean? I'm saying simply like you as an individual going through being big and feeling great now, how you are now, you wouldn't recommend or say to someone, hey, this path has brought me to a much happier, healthier state?
Nah.
No?
Nah.
Okay.
I feel like because, again, if you see the results on me and you go out your way to ask me, I'm more than happy to oblige and just give you some pointers and stuff like that. But how did my grandpa used to say? Excuse me if it sounds like gringa, okay? Because I can't really speak Spanish, but lo que quieren besar, busca la boca. My grandpa used to say. So in English is if you want to kiss someone, you look for the mouth.
Right.
It sounds better in Spanish. But the point is, if you were looking for someone to lecture you or give you points, you would ask me. You would ask whoever you think is like, you know what, she used to be this, so let me ask her. But if you're not going out your way to ask me, then that means you're not even wanting to be a student and learn. So to me, it's like, who am I to try to tell you my ways of living is better than yours?
But I think you're taking it from a place that it's not one is better than the other, but that you've been there. You have an understanding. Therefore, you knew how you felt like then, and you know how you feel like now. And to say it's better or not, okay, maybe one can disagree.
No, it's definitely a better way of life.
Right. So, like, if it is, then it should be something that is acknowledged, right? And also
definitely
represented more in society.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's definitely way better. Like, if you want to, like, I'm here to love yourself, whatever body form you're in, but what I say is it's more liberating when you've lost weight, when you eat clean, you know, when you're living a healthy or, like, active, I would say, not even healthy because you can be all that, but whatever, an active lifestyle, then it's so much more liberating. It's it teaches you so much about yourself and what you're capable of, and you almost feel like the world is, like, you can do anything. Because if I could lose all this weight and, like, feel all this freedom of movement, I'm not slow, I'm quick. I can, like, do this, I can do that, and, you know, be in control of my own body and not my body be in control of me.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's cool. But, like, to me, I've never seen, again, like, I really do come from a place where if the people that did try to tell me about myself got the boot. And then it was like, you know, so I'm like, it's a better lifestyle, but I'm not a preacher. I'm just an example.
Yeah, but that's the best way to like explain it. But either way, it doesn't make them not right.
Yeah.
You know, those people that try to say those things in the past, it's just some things are the right time, and sometimes.
Definitely. I hear that.
Sometimes you can hear something, but not really hear it.
Yeah,
you know?
no, for sure.
And that is something that people will experience throughout their entire life because certain lessons they're not ready to learn.
Yeah, exactly. And you're
weird.
Exactly. And you're going to think about those moments. And yes, I've thought about, I'm like, wow, I really did have a problem. Or like, wow. But it's like, again, I wasn't ready to hear that. Or I wasn't ready to, even if I heard it, to make action to take care of it.
Right.
You know? So it's like, that was for me to learn on my own.
In that example, though, you know, it takes uncomfortability to learn, right? It takes uncomfortability to move on to the next step. Do you find yourself accepting uncomfortability more now? Or is it a sense of, okay, you want to be more secure on things rather than stepping into the unknown?
I've always been curious of the world as stepping into the unknown.
Right. So you're okay with being the uncomfortability of like...
Yeah, I feel like it's just accelerated
being a newbie,
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. You can't get better at something if you don't start. You know? So it's like, I'm always okay with saying that I'm a student. You know? In order to be a leader, you got to be a student first.
It's true.
And you're always learning. I'm never going to know everything.
Yep.
And everybody can teach me anything. Even if I don't like what you taught, I'm like, now I know I don't want to be like you. You know what I'm saying? It's always... And when you look at life like that, nobody's ego can get to you. Nobody can tell you shit. Right. And again, going back to, like, I feel more so in control of myself because I know who I am now as a person. When I was drinking alcohol, one of the biggest things for me was, I'll open up a little bit here.
Was it the weed? No, I'm kidding.
It was like, for me, I was always scared to wake up the next day because I wasn't sure of what I did. We'll keep it like that. Like, I wasn't sure of the damage I have done. And so, like, when it gets to that point, like, even when people are telling you about yourself, you got to believe that because it's like you don't remember. So it's like I always felt so unsure, like what was real, what was not. A lot of things just like I didn't know who I was because it's like, am I that person that when I'm getting drunk, like, did I really say that? Is that... A lot of people say you tell the truth when you're drinking. I hate that term to the max because I don't think it's true. I don't think it's true at all. I think it's gotten me in places where it's like with family, like I don't really feel that way. I don't know why I said that when I was drunk, but like I really genuinely deep down in my heart don't feel that way. Right. So I hate when people say that. But it's like I would always wake up the next day really like confused, like, and who I was. So like now no one can tell me nothing because I remember everything. You know what I'm saying? Right. I'm very conscious. Right. No alcohol was involved. Right. Weed, but it's like weed doesn't impair your thought process or who you are. It doesn't make you black out. Like So it's like, you can't tell me nothing. I was here. I was sober enough to analyze in real time.
Right.
You know, so I'm more confident in all of it.
Right. Do you feel like that's another reason why you stopped drinking? So you could keep track?
I stopped drinking because I put two of my two important people in danger.
Oh, so there's a whole story behind that then.
Oh yeah. There was
So that had nothing to do with your weight loss?
No, it just helped my weight loss. But no, it had nothing to... Me stopping alcohol had nothing to do with my weight loss.
So if you want to talk about it, break it down.
I guess I can just say, like... It was the day after Thanksgiving. And... Yeah, it was that Friday. And I went to my boy's house. Got drunk. Had my sister and my girlfriend with me. We were all... It was local. But... Anyways, I did something stupid and blacked out, don't remember any of it. Gave them a hard time and did something dangerous, put everybody's life in danger. And my girlfriend, everybody was mad at me the next day. I was confused, didn't know why. Yeah. And my sister was like, told me off. And then my girlfriend was on the verge of we were going to break up. Like, she was like, I'm done. It was like a year into our relationship. She's like, I can't do this no more. You have a problem, blah, 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 blah. And I had to take time to myself to really, like, think. Because, like, when I was drinking, I didn't care about putting my life in danger. Like, to me, I always made a joke, which I'm going to get a tattoo of this, but I always made the joke. Again, struggling with addiction. So it's not something to be proud of. But, you know, I tell the truth. This is what it was. And I'm an example of coming out of that thought process too, like coming out of those habits and those lifestyles or whatever. But I used to say I would join the 27 club. I'll never make it past 27, you know, because of my lifestyle. I didn't care about putting my life in danger. I didn't really care to live like that, you know, like it was me like living in the moment, don't give a fuck about nothing. But when I put my sister and my girlfriend in a dangerous place, it kind of hit different. I was like, well, I don't care about me, but I care about them. Yeah. So it hit different. And then risking losing my relationship also put like that extra in me. And then, I never drank since.
Sheesh. And this is the same girl that you're with now?
Yeah.
And the same girl that you're starting a podcast with? Mm-hmm. So break down the podcast and what's the name of the podcast?
So our podcast comes out on August 29th, and it's called The Petty Headquarters.
The Petty Headquarters?
Yeah, The Petty Headquarters. So it's just a podcast between my girlfriend and I. She's the host, I'm the co-host, and we talk about celebrity drama, reality TV, online shit. She does like Sims stuff, so we're, you know, incorporating the Sims community in there, because she's got a little following on TikTok. Okay. So yeah, there's a lot of people. She was kind of like getting known for her Sims reality TV. She wrote her own Sims reality TV show, and it's 8 episodes, and it has a reunion which just dropped on Friday. And she has fans. People love it. Nice. So we're like, you know, they want to get, like, we just think it's nice to get to know her better. And me and Tiana always have like our own petty headquarters. You know, we literally call it the headquarters. Really? Yeah, like that's our relationship thing. Like we're just like, oh, we're the headquarters, and that's where we talk shit and just like, you know, we just talk our shit. And so it's HQ. Funny. Yeah, exactly. PHQ, petty headquarters. PHQ, nice. I like that. It's always good to break it down as an acronym. Yep. So now we're starting our own podcast, and it's very exciting.
Hell yeah. Yeah. I know that there's a lot of challenges in the road just to even start a podcast and to continue it. And I wish you all,
thank you,
the best. Thank you. Just to keep going, honestly, like this really,
like you, consistent as fuck. Consistent.
Consistency to see my capacity. You understand that?
I see that.
Yeah,
I see that.
You have to be consistent in order to see it.
What you're capable of, right? Exactly. I like that. I like that a lot. Dropping them gems, Gandhi.
You know what I'm saying? Every now and then. That's funny. So talk to me about the whole reptile community.
Okay.
And why did you choose the specific reptiles you chose to be a part of your family?
The first one was kind of like random, and I think that was like the biggest not the biggest mistake, but something that I see a lot of people do in general who aren't educated on animals. So like my one lizard needed rescuing because like my uncle had 3 of them and he rescued them from a breeder, but he couldn't afford taking care of 3 bearded dragons. That's a lot. It's a lot. So my sister, I think, ended up like being like, oh, we'll take it. And I just remember literally seeing in a glass tank, small ass glass tank, this bearded dragon. And I'm like, yo, I don't know how to take care of you. This is crazy. And it hit me like I had anxiety. I was up from like 10 o'clock to 4 a.m. I'll never forget it. Just researching YouTube videos, researching. Right. And I'm like, oh my God, there's so much to think about. There's so much to do. Yeah. You know, it was so overwhelming. Right, at first. And I was like, oh my God. Obviously, I fell in love with the process. Like, I loved it because, like, I'm not really, like, I've noticed I'm not really, like, a mammals person. Like, they're too really needy for me. I like to be able to, like, when the lights go off, you go to sleep, you know? The independence, yeah. I don't want to, like, emotionally you be so attached to me and stuff like that. I have an emotional attachment to my dragons, but my dragons don't have an emotional attachment to me.
And you like that?
I love that. Yeah. Because you're not depressed when you don't see me for a week and I'm on vacation. And like, you'll be all right. You'll be all right. It's a fact. It's so true. I love that. So it was a new perspective on owning animals because I've only ever owned a dog and a cat, like and multiple throughout my whole life. I've always had an animal, so it's like, but it's always been dog or cat. So it was like, this was like, wow, I really enjoy it. I really enjoy it. And it was also like a calming thing for me because like, you know, people have green thumbs and they plant and they look at all the little details that go into plants and stuff. That's how it is when I'm building a tank, you know? I'm seeing it and it's like, oh, I'm moving it here and I'm moving it there. What looks better? Come to life. Yeah, and also thinking like a lizard, because like you're like, okay, do I want to put the log this way or not? She's not really a climbing lizard, so you want to angle it more. It's like a bunch of like thinking like a lizard is the coolest way.
Thinking like a lizard?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yo, what has your... Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
No doubt. Where has your lizard, if you will, or not lizard, where has your reptile journey taken you? Because I know you've gone and experienced many different explorations.
Oh, yeah.
If you want to break down a few of them.
Yeah, so learning about dragons kind of like spiraled into understanding animal behavior in general, because most people see, and mammals are very expressive, like dogs and cats per se. They're very expressive. They meow when they're hungry, they bark when they want your attention, or whatever, right? So they're vocal, the signs are obvious, so we're not even thinking about it. Which honestly, most people should do more research on their breeds of dogs too, because they don't. They just get a dog. Right. You know, that I started to understand, like, oh shit, each animal is very different. Like, you know, like I actually gotta like understand the animal, and then it kind of led in one to the other. So I learned about crocodiles because of Instagram. I started, you know, liking more lizard stuff, so crocodiles came up. Saw this guy Chris. He was on like Gator Boys, and at first he showed up on Instagram as like swim with an alligator, and I was like, fuck out of here, ain't nobody swimming with no alligator. But then I was on YouTube and I started watching a lot of like YouTubers that dealt in Florida with like wildlife and stuff like that, and Chris came up again, and I'm like, yo, and I was watching his educational videos on like crocodiles and like their behaviors, and like their behaviors is just a bigger version of our little dragons, you know. They're dinosaurs. They've been living here forever. So they're like these crazy creatures, and it's just basically application, same thing. They're dangerous animals. Okay, they are. They're very dangerous. But they're not the man-eaters that people think they are. They're actually very intelligent. They're so cool. And I guess like throughout learning more and educating myself on crocodiles, I started learning about sharks. Like that's my next dive. Like I want to free dive with sharks. And it sounds scary, which it is. Yeah. But when you're going with the right people who can understand shark language and understand how to control the environment, then at the end of the day, you're risking yourself no matter what, because it's wildlife, right? Like, no matter what, that there's a tiny risk to that. But your risk significantly decreases when you're with somebody who understands or whatever like that. And again, that all comes from just me wanting to conquer my fears. You know, Jaws did a good job on like scaring us about sharks and shit when we were like younger with that shit, like, and Snakes on the Plane, Anaconda, all these movies.
Some types of like media outlet that's going to either frighten you about specific things or make you excited about certain things.
Yeah, like Cocaine Bear was so stupid.
How do you feel about the real Tarzan?
The real Tarzan, he's cool. I like him a lot.
Word.
I like him a lot. You know, I also like... Yeah, I like him a lot.
He's dope, right?
He's cool. And he's been through some shit.
Yeah.
He's been through some shit, bro.
Yeah.
I seen one video where his house caught on fire. Actually, something similar happened to me like that, which is why I got cameras on my thing now. But he like went to the gym one day and came back and his house was on fire. And one of the lights in the Dragon tank had exploded and caught a chain reaction while he was at the gym.
So crazy.
Bro, I'll never forget, this man went in there smoking all when the fire department came. They wanted to give him the oxygen, the little tube. And he's like, he took the oxygen, took his snake and shoved it right in this trachea and started fucking saving his snakes, bro. It was insane to see the mental strength of the real Tarzan, bro. The next couple of videos, he was like, shit's rough. I got no house, blah, blah, blah. But you got to keep going. You got to keep moving. I'm like,
hell yeah.
Bro, you're a fucking monster. Dude.
Resilience.
Dude.
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Cool shit.
Yeah, I fucking think that he's like one of the most, like, I feel like he's today's Crocodile Hunter, but beyond that. You know what I mean? Like, in a way. Where do you envision your future, your trajectory? You know, like, what would you love your dream to be?
My dream? My dream, I don't really know right now, to be honest. I feel like my dream would be to like have our business succeed, you know, like to see success in more than just financially, but like like foundation. We create like, you know, a place, a community of like real like, you know, connection with people who watch or people who engage and people who are just more than just in New York. Like, I feel like numbers is cool, but when there's like a true foundation, even when shit gets rough, people are around. I feel like that's super cool. Yeah. So like I see some like stability. I think stability, maybe like traveling more. Not really living in New York.
Okay.
Yeah. Looking maybe Nevada.
Nevada?
Yeah.
You want to be in the desert?
West Coast, baby.
You want to be in the desert, though?
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah.
Why the desert? Oh, well, it makes sense.
I'm like, bro. Like,
yo, come on, bro.
Desert,
bro.
Right. All the things are there.
Lining up. It lines up. It makes sense. Yeah, it took me a second. That's fucking dope,
That's
bro.
funny.
Hell yeah.
I love the hiking, and there's a lot of beautiful hikes out there.
Yeah.
Dude, I've seen some crazy shit. We went to the Arizona hot springs. We ran into people who were like, they were nude in these hot springs. Like, we're talking about these weird, like, culty people felt like they were looking at us like, what are you guys doing here? Like, with this guy, little dick out. Like, yeah. Shit is crazy. It felt like a movie.
Right.
Yeah. But I love,
but
like...
you vibed with it.
Yeah, you gotta embrace it. Embrace whatever comes with adventure.
Alright, that's what's up, yo.
Yeah, man.
Yo, do you have any questions for me?
Why'd you cut your hair?
Oh, it was just too much to work with, to be honest.
Yeah?
Yeah. I was like, I want to feel the breeze again. It felt great. You know, I didn't want to wake up and like do all this maintenance and shit. I just wanted to like...
There's a lot of maintenance to it?
Yeah, definitely. You know what I mean? Like, and if I don't do anything, it looks wild. It looks fucking crazy. It looks like a caveman.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean?
Frizzy? Does he get frizzy? Or
yeah,
not?
it just gets dry, frizzy, I guess, yeah. It's just like not appealing.
But there was like a moment, you didn't have a moment, you were just like, fuck it. Like, what was that moment?
Yeah, the moment was like, yo, this is getting too long. I feel like a girl. I'm fucking having to, I gotta like comb my hair in order for it to be okay. You know what I mean? Like, also my girl was just like, you know, this would look good, da 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 da. I'm like, you know what, you might be right. And then I was like, fuck it, let me try it. And it worked out.
Nice.
I feel like it still looks good.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I was just curious because most people like to attach their hair to like something like sentimental or something like that. Like long hair, usually the guys are like, oh, I can't have it short again, but I'll cut a little bit for donation. Like, you know,
funny.
like.
No, I feel like also low key, I feel like, you know, you have hair with you for a long period of time, and sometimes all those times wasn't even good, you know what I mean? And like I feel like you're also holding on to all that. So
that work, right? That work that you put in for it?
No, not necessarily the work that you put into it. Like, just like literally time passes by, right? Mm-hmm. And shit happens. And like, it's not always so good, right? Mm-hmm. And sometimes shit happens and, you know, you're sad or you're mad.
Oh, okay. You're talking about life. I think you meant with your hair.
Yeah, but I'm still growing my hair during that time. You
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
I feel like that all that time, that's like with the hair too. You know what I mean? Like, you cut it off, it kind of just like gives you a nice
reset
type shit.
Okay.
Type shit.
I feel that.
I don't know if I'm right about that. It could be all a mental thing.
That could be for you though.
Yeah,
it could be right for you. You know,
right,
that's
exactly.
how it feels.
Yeah.
I know, like I hate hair. Like I hate when I have I try because it looks good when it's good, but when it's just mad work.
It is mad work.
And it's just like it's so much work. I'm like I always remember why I cut it to begin with. You know, fuck this shit. It's too much.
For real.
Yeah, man, that's cool. I like the short hair on you though.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, man.
For real. Yo, and where can the people find you?
They can find me at Jessi.strange on Instagram, which is JESSI.strange. And the Petty Headquarters is dropping, so you can find that on YouTube. Type in Petty Sims Productions. It's going to be on that YouTube channel, which I'm excited for Weekly Mess and Weekly Tea.
Hey.
And yeah, I think that's it. Yeah. And then that's it, bro.
So yeah.
Thank you for having me, bro.
Thank you.
Go. It's the conversation. Yeah. Take your mind different places. Now you know. So yeah.